It finally happened. Someone finally signed Carmelo Anthony. Kristaps Porzingis made his return to the Madison Square Garden. We gotta talk about that game plus a few other games and then end tonight off by talking about Paul George making his debut for the Los Angeles Clippers. That's a look at what we gotta talk about today, but with that out of the way, P.O. What is up, guys? It's me, Exactly. How y'all doing? Hope you're having a fantastic day, no matter what part of the world you might be watching this from. But you guys already know that you'll go ahead and make sure that you destroy that like button, as it does help the channel grow. But not only that, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel with post notifications turned on so you don't miss out on more videos like this every Monday through Friday. That is 5 days per week. And that's enough talking though. Now let's just get into everything that we gotta talk about today. Let's get it, let's go. Just yesterday, we were talking about the Portland Trail Blazers and how they had lost 6 of their last 7 games, meaning that it was time for them to hit the panic button on a season that has them 4-8 on the year after they made it to the Western Conference Finals last year, after they just gave Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum a bag in free agency, right? We were talking about trades that I would like to see the Portland Trail Blazers make. Well, not too long after that video went live, it seemed that the Portland Trail Blazers really did push the panic button, as they decided to sign the player that it seemed no other team in the league was willing to touch with a 35,000-foot pole. They signed Carmelo Anthony. The Portland Trail Blazers have signed Carmelo Anthony. Now, if you guys remember, the Portland Trail Blazers were a team that was trying to get Carmelo Anthony, or at least Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum wanted the Portland Trail Blazers to get Carmelo Anthony before he even went to the Thunder, before he teamed up with Westbrook and Paul George. That was back then. That was years ago. And it's happened now, after they've lost 6 of their last 7 games and are just 4-8 on the year. I never thought it was gonna happen. I can honestly say that I thought Carmelo Anthony's days were just done playing in the NBA. Maybe in a couple of years, he'll sign some type of contract with the New York Knicks to say that he officially retired with the New York Knicks. That's the point I was getting to. But Carmelo Anthony got another chance. And in saying that, Melo, this is your time. Look, this is the time that you've been clamoring for. This is the time that you've been waiting for. This is the time that your fans have been dying to see you get. This is your last chance. Your coup de grace, the last stand, the last chapter, whatever you want to call it. If you get into these games and you don't prove yourself, it's over. There is no chance after this. There's 100% no chance, no blaming anything else. It's all on you right now. The Portland Trail Blazers are calling. They need your help. Look at them. 6 of 7. Lost 6 of 7. Just look at them. 4-8 on the year. They're dying for your help. What you gonna give them? Speaking of Carmelo Anthony, though, we gotta talk about his former team, one of the teams that he was best known for playing for, the New York Knicks. We gotta talk about the New York Knicks because Kristaps Porzingis made his return to New York last night. Now, we all know that he did not have the best exit from New York. His time in New York was tumultuous, right? His time in New York was bizarre. And this is just a guy who was still under a rookie contract, just signed his first extension with the Dallas Mavericks. Skipping exit interviews, the whole saga with Carmelo Anthony, that put Kristaps Porzingis in a weird position where now the organization, the fans, and the media are asking him to choose a side between New York and Melo. Melo, a player that he really respected and looked up to, and of course the Knicks, the team that are paying his salary. We see how the Knicks treated Carmelo Anthony in front of Porzingis, and of course he didn't like that very much. And then eventually things start to happen. He just decides, you know what, this is a hot mess. I want out. I don't want this to be my career. I don't want my career to be dictated by the people who are running this organization. I want out. That gets out leaked to the media, right? It gets known to the media, of course. that Kristaps Porzingis wants out and he gets traded to the Dallas Mavericks, and then he comes back to New York last night and New York Knicks fans serenade the man with booze every single time he touches the basketball. Now, I'm not going to tell Knicks fans how they should feel on this matter. They're Knicks fans, they're entitled to their opinion. I'm sure if something happened between the organization and Luke Kennard, where Luke Kennard decided that he wanted out of Detroit and was like, trade me out of here right now, I'd feel some type of way towards Luke Kennard, because that would break my freaking heart. This was the guy. This was supposed to be one of our bright spots that we've had, and he just asked out. So I'm not going to tell New York Knicks fans how to feel, because I can understand why you would be upset. But the anger that you're feeling towards Kristaps Porzingis, you need to turn around and look at the guy at the top, at the very top, at the very, very, very top of the Knicks, and wonder, why is he the only one in the entire organization that has been here the entire time, right? Why is it that ever since he's taken over, things just haven't been going so well? Why is that? His GMs have changed, president of basketball operations have changed, coaches have changed, players have changed, freaking employees of the Madison Square Garden have changed. Everything's changed except for one guy. Now, though, the last thing that we have to talk about today is Paul George making his debut for the Los Angeles Clippers. And we're going to talk about that, but first, we do have to get into the other games that went down last night. We got to talk about the Phoenix Suns defeating the Atlanta Hawks 128-112. Kelly Oubre Jr. still been an amazing pickup for the Suns around the trade deadline last year. He had 30 points last night to go along with Devin Booker's 27 points. The Denver Nuggets held the Nets to just 32 points in the second half and come away with a 101-93 win. The Brooklyn Nets, I'm really surprised they didn't get Carmelo Anthony, especially since they're 4-7 on the year now, and they don't even have Karis LeVert either, since he's going to be out with an injury. Nikola Jokic and Paul Millsap, 18 points each. Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Milwaukee Bucks were, of course, just a bit too much for the Chicago Bulls to handle. 124-115 the final score. Giannis with a monster game, 38 points and 16 rebounds. And a side note, the Bucks will be without Chris Middleton for about the next month. And lastly for the day, the Miami Heat defeat the Cleveland Cavaliers 108-97. And Miami has developed a bit of a bad habit recently of playing terribly in the second half and allowing teams back into the games. They still hang on to get the win though. 23 points and 8 assists for Kendrick Nunn. Now, the final thing that we have to discuss today, Paul George making his debut for the Los Angeles Clippers. Now, for the Clippers, there was still no Kawhi Leonard, as he's not playing back-to-backs. There was also no Patrick Beverley or Landry Shamet, so they were shorthanded. But their opponents were the New Orleans Pelicans, so you really can't make up shorthanded as an excuse for a team that's missing Zion Williamson, Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, and Josh Hart. Still though, maybe it was a good thing that all of those other guys were out, because it really allowed Paul George the time to shine. It allowed him the time to go out there in his debut and score the third most points ever in debut history with 33. The man dropped 33 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 assists in just 24 minutes. He's going to be on a bit of a minutes restriction for a while, of course, coming on off an injury, so he's only going to play around 6 minutes per quarter, half a quarter. But for this guy to come in and play with players that he's never played with before. Mind you, he's never played with any of these guys on the Clippers yet. He has no chemistry, and you can clearly see that last night too. There were times in which turnovers resulted or defensive lapses resulted from these guys just not being familiar with each other on the basketball court. So all of that stuff is going to take time to smooth over. However, the fact that Paul George was still able to go out there and put up 33 points and look that good, like the spitting image of the Paul George that we were seeing last year, is astounding. And it's scary because you're just going to imagine having him and Kawhi Leonard on the same team. If you were to ask me, I legitimately think this has the potential to be one of the best duo pairings in the entire NBA since like freaking Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan. It has potential to be that good of a pairing. And we're fortunate enough to be living in it. This crazy time to be an NBA fan. An absolutely crazy time to be an NBA fan. And I'm loving it. That's gonna do it for everything that we gotta talk about today though, but it is Friday, guys, and I mentioned actually in just yesterday's video that instead of doing player of the day on the channel, it's now going to be player of the week, where I take a comprehensive list of the 5 best players from the winningest teams of the week, or some of the winningest teams of the week, and compile their stats and ask you guys who you think was the best overall player of the week. And with that being said, here are this week's nominees. First up, we got Pascal Siakam, who led the Raptors to wins over the Lakers and the Blazers and a very narrow loss to the Clippers, while they didn't have Kyle Lowry or Serge Ibaka. The dude averaged 25.3 points per game and 9 rebounds per game this week. Next up, we got Devin Booker, who led the Suns to wins versus the Hawks and the Nets while losing to the Los Angeles Lakers, averaging 25 points per game and 8.3 assists per game. Followed by that, we got Andrew Wiggins, who led the Minnesota Timberwolves to wins over the Spurs and the Pistons and almost a win over the Nuggets, averaging 29.3 points per game, 5.7 assists per game, and 6 rebounds per game. Fourth up, you have Giannis Antetokounmpo, who led the Milwaukee Bucks to a 2-1 week while averaging over 33 points and 15 rebounds per game. And the final contestant for this week's player of the week is none other than James Harden, who led the Rockets to a perfect week, 3-0 with wins over the Bulls, Pelicans, and the Los Angeles Clippers while averaging a whopping 42.7 points, 8.3 assists, and 6.7 rebounds per game. You guys can cast your vote for who you think the player of the week should be by clicking the little eye icon in the top right-hand corner of the video. That's gonna do it for everything that we gotta talk about today though, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you all have a fantastic weekend. You guys already know that I'll be right back here Monday to bring you the weekend recap plus any other things that are going on in the NBA. That being said, like the video if you like the video and subscribe to the video if you haven't already so you don't miss out on more videos like this every Monday through Friday. Till Monday though, keep getting the buckets, Team SDC, and I'm out of here. Peace!